Hello everyone, this is Cyber Eric with another gameplay explained video. This is for Gran Turismo 7, which is basically a real driving simulator. And I'm gonna go over very quickly on the basics of the gameplay. I'm not gonna go over any particular specific details, but basically this is a racing game. You get to buy cars, drive them around, you get to drive old cars, fast cars, new cars, and old kind, etc, etc, etc. It is also kind of like a car collection game, and you get to drive them in all sorts of like weather, rain, dirt racing, different maps, etc, etc. Before I go on, I would like to remind everybody to please like and subscribe. It is appreciated. All right, so basically, real quick here, I'm driving here next to a Trueno from the initial Bjork similar-ish series. And basically, if you're playing this game, it's kind of like a realistic driving physics racing game. So it's not like an arcade racer per se. You can play it a little bit like that, but you're going to be running around collecting cars like you see me here. I'm leveling up my collector level. Collector level basically means how many cars you have acquired. And you get collector points, and you're basically going to have these little different options in the main menu. There's no story per se in this game. It's just you are a collector, you're running around driving cars, you're gaining points, and you're acquiring more cars. For example, here I acquired this Lancer Evo. This is one of the first cars that basically the game tutorial lets you drive them. And you're basically going to be driving around basic driving styles here. Here I am on a map, kind of like a NASCAR circuit, right? Basically left turns, nothing more to it. I do drive aggressively, which again, this is not Forza Horizon, for example, that has the drive avatars or whatever it's called. This has more realistic gameplay aspects, etc, etc. And obviously you have different difficulty options as well. And you can tweak the game however you want. One thing I will note is the arrow that you see on the ground, the yellow line. That's the line you kind of have to follow. So as you play, you're gonna basically win races, and you get CR points, right, collector points, etc, etc, to acquire more cars. And you basically want to do is level up your collector level, but it's basically a driving collector simulator / career progression. So there's a used car store in the game, and you can basically browse different cars. Here I am basically looking for the Viper GTS, which is basically one of the first cars I always buy in a Gran Turismo or any racing game for that matter. And I basically acquire it. You can also get into the cars. You can go inside them. You can take a look at like the inside of them. You can have a car collection. You can tuning parts. You can change the settings in your car, and that's one of the things from Gran Turismo, which is, as I mentioned, this is a driving simulator. So for a simulator, it lets you adjust all kinds of things within an actual physical car, such as like, for example, the angle of the car, the initial torque, as to how it distributes basically the engine, right? Things like acceleration, sensitivity, all these kind of things. And you can buy the different parts, you can tweak it, you can balance it, and you will see all these numbers on screen. It's basically more complicated than sometimes some strategy games. Another thing you will see is kind of like the license center. You basically have to get licenses to drive higher or faster cars. And you basically have to pass different little tests as to show basically the basics of how you drive, how you slow down. For example, here I am following that yellow line and driving the car, and you basically pass the little tests. They're a couple seconds long, right? So they're not really that bad, but you have to do a few of them. There's different turns showing you that you know how to drive, etc, etc. And if you fail, you just have to try them again, etc, etc. But basically, that's going to be one of the things you're also going to be doing, start going to the driving center, and it'll teach you different things about the game and the basics of racing. For example, here the game will show you this brake system, which is like, if you see that red markings on the ground, that means brake. And that's mostly it for Gran Turismo. To be perfectly honest, it's a very basic standard game when it comes to like a racing game. You're basically driving the accelerator with the right trigger. You're driving your car either in third person, first person, or there's all the camera modes that you want to tweak. There is a VR mode. I didn't really try it for this video because I only played this for a few hours. But you're basically running around. There's different tracks. There's different races, the race types. Dirt racing is particularly very difficult. That'll get some getting used to, particularly on the turning, etc, etc. Driving on snow, driving on ice, or whatever you want, or water. all those kind of things you basically tweak, but it's basically a racing simulator. And you're gonna be collecting different cars. There's all these different brands in the game. Gran Turismo is a huge title. I've been playing Gran Turismo since the first one for the PlayStation 1. And that's why I wanted to make this video. I basically got Gran Turismo 7 because I got a PS5 Pro. And I wanted to try it out for a little bit. It might not be for me. I'm more of an arcade racer kind of thing. But hey, it plays extremely well. It's gorgeous, as you can see here in the background. Here's a replay, for example, after you finish a race. You're gonna get your replays, and you're basically gonna be running around doing different races. Obviously, there's an online mode. I am a casual for this type of games. I cannot compete against other people like this in terms of tuning, setting up their cars, but it's got its fun when it comes to racing. Again, very realistic driving simulator. But that's mostly it for this Gran Turismo gameplay explained. I kind of wanted to show you just the basics of Gran Turismo 7. With that, I would like to thank everybody for watching. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It is appreciated for the channel. And that's mostly it for Gran Turismo 7. I'll be trying to do more videos as I go along. And with that, that is all for today. Have a good one, everyone.